So this whole gluten-free diet thing is really messing with me because I'm from Seattle, and if you know anything about Seattle, the one thing it's most famous for is coffee. So ideally, I'm trying to find gluten-free things that taste good with coffee because I'm normally so used to eating something like a pastry or a muffin or biscotti or whatever tastes delicious with coffee. Generally, it's something I've probably eaten. And the tough part is finding those things that actually taste good with coffee, because while I've toyed with the idea of consuming rice or some corn tortillas made into a quesadilla, the problem is those things really weren't designed to be eaten with coffee. Generally, you eat them with you have water to drink or soda, depending on how they're made. And all I want is something like a muffin or just a simple pastry or maybe even a cookie. Now, granted, I do have some really delicious cookies, but the problem is I can't just eat cookies before I go into work. That's not healthy. And honestly, there's not enough protein in there to keep me fed until break, at which point I can eat more cookies, but honestly, there's an importance to breakfast, which is to jumpstart your metabolism every morning. And while a lot of people really don't believe that consuming more food is healthy for you, it really is. Granted, I also have genetics on my side, but at the same time, breakfast is still a really important thing. And while there are other foods like straight up dairy and things like that that I could consume, such as yogurt or cereal, the problem is I don't necessarily want to have something cold for breakfast and drink coffee at the same time. To me, that just seems weird and kind of backward. Because when you're eating something like yogurt or ice cream or cereal for breakfast, you're getting your mouth all cold. And then suddenly you take a drink of coffee, and whoa, you might have just burned your tongue. I'm sorry, I like being able to taste. I'm a major foodie. So, of course, the last thing I want to do is burn my tongue, because then that just ruins a lot of the flavor that you're trying to experience when you're having new food. So, I don't know if anyone has any suggestions for food to have for breakfast that isn't necessarily those. On occasion, I'll have cereal or yogurt or whatever for breakfast, but then I don't drink coffee. But I like drinking coffee. I drink at least a small cup every day at work, but I want to be able to have a normal relationship with my food and not constantly remember that I am gluten sensitive. So if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments section and give me tips on things like that, because this is all new to me and I'm a poor working college student that has no extra money to go and find gluten-free bread. And I've tried potato bread and I really don't like it. Anyway, don't forget to be awesome and stay excellent. Also, because they're delicious, I definitely recommend these cookies. They were recommended to me by a lady at Trader Joe's, and she said if they have them, buy them, because they're really delicious. They're made with rice flour, and I really just want to kind of steal the recipe and make other things with rice flour because it's awesome. Granted, they're really, really crispy cookies, so one time I was eating them and I had to turn off the television because I couldn't hear what was going on. But I definitely recommend these cookies. They're delicious, they're found at Trader Joe's, and I need to go find more that are like them or just buy a whole bunch at a time because there aren't that many in this package.